I can't.
I will let them all in.
You can let everybody in at once.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. Cindy Campbell, Gilda, Joyce, Ellen. Oh, how lovely. Laura. Oh, look at that. Joy. Fancy. People have headsets. Oh, that's funny because some of them are, the name is not with the person. It says Cindy Campbell. That's Luika. Luika? Hi there. See, the names aren't under the thing. So I just have to write, you got it, right? Do you have a thing there? Do you have to press to see? Or you got it, good. Okay. Hi, everyone. Is that Heath? Hi, Heath, and everyone. Oh, this is great. It's like one big party here. So yeah, cool.
You're not looking at the camera.
I'm not, okay, I gotta look at the camera. So this week, we're only gonna have one camera and my cameraman's gonna change things around. So we could probably just wait a few minutes for other people to come in. And I assume that is the newlyweds. Is that Laura and Adil? Hi, guys, congratulations. I love the tie-dye color coordinated wedding party. That was fantastic. Okay, I have to look at the camera and not at my monitor. There we go. Anyway, so, well, hi, everyone. Okay, that is going to be a problem with my looking at that instead of this. So before we, what?
We could try and move this.
That's a good idea. Okay, we're still getting our production thing here. Oh, that is fantastic. You're so smart. It's a good thing I have a smart cameraman. Okay, so any questions from the people already assembled about anything? You can unmute yourself and say something or put it in chat and Mayra will read it.
Still try to look at the camera.
Okay. Nothing. Okay, so let's see. So today we're going to do a stir fry, but I'm going to talk in general about stir fries and also a few other things before we get started. I want to thank Howie Steve from Eugene for telling me about this. This is a coconut amino acids that he uses instead of Tamari. It's the brand is Coconut Secret, and it has only 1 tablespoon has 270 milligrams of sodium. But this is 50% less sodium Tamari Light, and 1 tablespoon has 490. So you save a lot of milligrams of sodium by using that. So if anybody wanted to see that again, there it is. Wait, turn it around. There it is. Everything's always backwards here. So that's that I learned.
Renee,
yes.
can I interject? I found a new product that's local here in Gainesville.
Okay.
Gainesville. Spice World apparently is local. I found this at Whole Foods. This is more garlic than I can eat in a week. In fact, if somebody local wants some garlic, I got plenty of it. But I'm just supporting local.
So what is it? What is the product?
Oh, it's peeled garlic, all ready to go.
Oh, ready to go. Okay, but then you don't get the joy of smashing it.
Well, that's true.
Okay. Anyway, so just a few other things. I went to buy the noodles that I normally use in this dish, and they are not available anymore at Fresh Market. But maybe I could get fresh noodles at an Asian grocery or something, but I didn't. So I'm just going to talk about a few different noodle products here. This is the one I'm going to use, this pad thai one. And then there's also, this is very similar, but the fettuccine style tincata is also gluten-free brown rice noodle. Then another kind of noodle you could use in stir fries is buckwheat noodles. This is buckwheat noodles. It's hard to find totally, without wheat buckwheat noodles, soba. I got these online. They do sell them occasionally at Ward's, but they were like $8. So I got them online for a lot cheaper. And then this brand, you can get most Fresh Market and other things. These come in these little cakes, and it has like 3 or 4 different flavors. the millet and brown rice, and this is just a forbidden rice one that's good. And it's good for soups and stir fries, and they're a thinner noodle, but it cooks in like just a few minutes. So there was that. I think I'll probably just get started with the cooking, and then along the way, I will do certain things. So we're going to start with this broccoli, because as you noted, you can stir fry the broccoli, but what I do is I like to steam it. This stem, I cut off the stem. I'm not going to use the stem right now, but I'm going to save it for salad. What I do is in fact, Gilda, I don't know if you remember, but a long time ago, you served something called broccoli slaw, and it was made out of, when they sell you the florets in the store, then they have left over these stems. So you make broccoli slaw, you can do your own. You just, cut the tough stuff off and then grate the rest, like you would grate carrots or whatever, and then you have broccoli slaw. And I like just adding some of it to a fresh salad because it's just gives it a little spicy, nice flavor. So I'm gonna throw that back in my fridge. And meanwhile, I'm gonna just cut this into little florets because I love broccoli. Anyway, and this is good.
Renee, can I share something too about the broccoli stem?
Please do.
Yeah, after it's peeled, I like to just slice it thin and then cut it into the shape of bamboo shoot instead of. I recently noticed that, well, at least in Publix and in different stores, there's a lot of Asian things, particularly Chinese things that are not available. So yeah, I just substitute the broccoli stem slivers for the bamboo shoot.
The bamboo shoots, that's a good idea, see? And the other part of broccoli that I love, but I don't have a garden, so I don't get too much, is just broccoli leaves. I love broccoli leaves. So I'm just gonna cut up this broccoli and put it into, like floret size. There we go. And I'm gonna put it in this casserole dish with a little bit of water and a little bit of tamari. I'm gonna open up, I'm just gonna use this, just a little drizzle. And I'm gonna steam that at a later point here. Here's a little water. And we're doing this. Okay, so are people following along, cooking with me, or is it a spectator? Thank you. So
I've already steamed the broccoli, so I'm just watching how you do.
Oh, she's way ahead of the game. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the sauce for later. But so what I do is I generally take the vegetables that I want to cook first and cook them first. Although in this case, almost forgot. Okay, so we have time. I'm going to talk about soy products a little bit. So there are a variety of soy products, and they actually, soy as a protein is actually just as good as egg. I know this because research back in the 90s, Pellet and Young did all this research about amino acid composition, et cetera, take my word for it. Anyway, and so soy protein is good stuff. It gets a bad rap. A lot of people say, oh, soy protein, bad, dementia, breast cancer, and feminizing effects in males. And it's basically all those are just myths. And a lot of them actually, I hate to say it, have been propagated by the Western price people who are like pro-dairy. But there's been a lot of research on it, and I could send you I'll send you the thing, from the Dietetic Association and stuff like that, where they have done the research. But basically, soy, it has phytoestrogens in it, which are similar to your estrogens, but actually what you get is more of the benefits without the disadvantages. They've shown that actually women with breast cancer who eat more soy products actually have a better prognosis than otherwise. Young women who eat a lot of soy when they're younger are less likely to get breast cancer. It helps with the effects of menopause. Unpleasant parts of menopause can be alleviated by eating more soy. I know that from personal experience. And what else? Pretty much, that's the good stuff about soy. Now, true tofu is kind of a processed form of soy. Less processed forms are tempeh, which is made out of whole soybeans that are then bound together by a fungus, rhizopus, whatever. I think we talked about that last time. And edamame, which are whole, like baby soybeans that are green, and they kind of look like green peas, and I use them a lot in places where I normally might have used frozen peas. I use frozen edamame because it's higher in protein, and they have kind of a nutty flavor, which I like. And you can use tempeh or edamame in stir fries as well as just beans. Like if you're going to make a coconut curry or something like that, I make a coconut curry and I use garbanzo beans. It just goes really well with it. So I'm gonna open up this thing and drain it out. 1 second, I will be leaving the field. You don't have to follow me on this one. And I need a
I'm
bowl.
so glad that you're talking about the benefits of soy. And you know me, I always want to say, make sure you get organic soy.
Right, exactly. Most of the soybeans grown in this country, well, first of all, most of the soybeans are fed to animals in this country, but a lot of them are GMO, and no one GMO. Okay.
And sprayed with glyphosate, so.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
I have my own little glyphosate story this week.
Oh, good.
Yeah. No. Anyway, whatever. So I'm just gonna cut these into little like cubes. This is not that sharp and nice, so don't worry. I'm not gonna cut my hand off here. Okay. So any other questions about soy or anything else? Guess what that is? Okay. Okay, so we've got our tofu, and we will be stir frying all this in a little bit. What I'm going to do is get everything ready to go. So we got our tofu. I'll stick them over there, and then we're going to do the onions. I just need to get some of the liquid from the tofu off. Oh, the other thing I'm going to do now, because I'm not using fresh noodles, is I'm going to start the boiling the water, because I always find that everything's all ready and the water for the noodles hasn't boiled. So I'm going to use about half of this onion. Remember, always be careful with the knife. There you go. And also the onion has been in the fridge. I just took it out of the fridge because you cry a lot less if your onion has been in the fridge. Just a little trick there.
Good tip.
Yeah, good one. And get rid of all these guys.
Wear safety glasses when I'm chopping onions.
Well, if you put it in the fridge, you don't have to. It's not that big a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not crying. I'm a regular onion choker, let me tell you. So, and always put your fingers. I don't know if you can see this. Put your fingers like that rather than like that. You're less likely to cut them. Anyway, and you might have your own technique, because I have strange techniques, because I have, as I might have mentioned, I've broken both wrists, so my hands don't do all the things that other people's hands can do. But we manage. Okay, so there's our onions. That's easy. No tears. Okay, it's really nice to see all you guys. I mean, you know, with the pandemic and everything, there's a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time. Cool. Okay, so the onions, and into the onions, I'm going to add the garlic cloves. So we're going to get to pop cloves. It says to use 3 cloves. I'm not really, wedded to recipes, but we'll use 3 cloves. If you want to use more, you can use more. And then, so you don't have to peel all that stuff off. What you do is some people use the side of a knife, but I'm going to use this because I'm a klutz and God knows what could happen with a knife. And you just squish it. Are people seeing this, or do we need to have the,
No, they could see.
they can see it? Okay. Yeah, okay, we're good. Okay, so if you just go like that, it's good for anger management too. Anyway, you pop it, and then I'll hold that up there, and then the skin just slips right off. Okay, so there we have it. I once saw somebody do this with like 2 metal bowls. They did like a whole head of, they just shook it around and the whole thing, all at once, all the cloves separated and got naked. So I don't know. I haven't tried that. So then I'm going to use this knife, which is not a serrated knife, to do like chop on the garlic. Okay. And some people like it minced like super fine, but I'm not that OCD about it. It'll be fine. Okay. So I'm going to put, well, actually, I think I'll leave the onions separate. And then I need one more bowl for the, I'm going to put the garlic in here. And then we're going to do a bunch of, voila. Okay. And then into the garlic, I will add the cabbage. I pre-washed my vegetables so that you didn't have to see me going off camera to the sink. So a head of cabbage, it says use 2 cups, but I'm just going to use a bunch. I don't know, does that look like 2 cups? Yeah, probably. Okay, good. Maybe more. Anyway, cabbage is in the Brasilica family. I don't know how you pronounce it, remember how you pronounce it, but it's got all these good phytochemicals in it that help prevent cancer, especially colon. So it's broccoli and cabbage and cauliflower, they're all in that family, and they all do wonderful things. That's probably a lot more than 2 cups. Oh, well.
Do you buy organic?
I do buy organic. In fact, this one I got at the farmer's market. I mean, I just, whatever. I'm not spending money on entertainment these days. So I can afford a few organic vegetables, but some of them I don't bother. I mean, if they have organic onions, I buy them, but it's not like, remember that dirty dozen list I sent out to you guys? It's not that important for some of the things. I don't think cabbage is all that important, but I like it. Okay.
We're worth it.
Pardon?
We're worth it.
We're worth it. Yeah, we're worth it.
It's not that much more expensive.
Yeah. You just grow your own choice. Okay, so now I'm going to cut up the peppers. I do not like green peppers. They don't seem to agree with me. So I get other colors. And I do get them organic. And I to tell the truth, I get them at Trader Joe's because they have a great deal on organic tricolors.
Right.
So that's what I get. Sometimes I get them at the farmer's market from Ramon, who can grow anything any time of year. So.
And if you can't get organic, you can always peel them.
Peel peppers?
Yes.
That sounds like too much work. Anyway, so I'm just going to cut these into these little dices. Careful with my fingers. Too many little bowls. Sorry, I'll put it back in here since I had to wash that.
Renee, you said that we should slice them, but I'm noticing that you're cutting them into little pieces.
I am. You know what? You can do it however you want. Did I say slice? Okay, I'll slice.
Well, on the recipe, it says sliced.
I know. Sorry. There were some other problems with the recipe too, that I sent you. I do not, I'm not going to saute it in sesame oil because toasted sesame oil kind of loses its flavor when you cook with it. I recommend just using the toasted sesame oil like as a condiment afterwards.
Right.
Okay, and then I'm just going to use half and half because these are like humongo peppers. I don't really need to use the whole thing, and he's already been washed and there we go. So I hope that's, I know some people are sticklers. They look at a recipe and they say, oh my God, I have to cut the butternut squash 1 inch, cube. They get out the tape measure and, I don't do that. Sorry. But if it makes you feel better.
I cut vegetables according to my mood.
Right. Yeah. Kill. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any other comments, questions, anything, guys? Fantastic. Okay. Okay. So that's our peppers. And then what's left? Oh yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna use it. This is a jalapeno pepper and it's in the recipe. And I say that I don't usually use it, but I'm going to use it. One small jalapeno. This is one large jalapeno. So the last time, was this the dish that I made with the jalapeno that I had to pick the jalapenos out? I don't think so. There was another dish. So I'm just gonna use half the jalapeno. And this is something that it's very hot. And what I do, some people actually do this with rubber gloves. I'm not going to use rubber gloves, but I just cut out the core, and you've got to wash your hands right after you do this, because otherwise, if you touch your eye or even your lips,
Right.
you're going to burn yourself. So this is
Do the seeds have most of the heat?
no. I
Yes.
mean, the seeds probably have a bunch of heat, but the pepper itself does. Anyway, so I'm just getting you know, like really brave here. I usually don't like terribly spicy things. I like slightly spicy things. So I am going to use the sriracha. So this is
Yeah.
okay. So I'm just going to cut
Jalapenos, they vary in their heat. It's not consistent, but if you see jalapenos with the little kind of streaks on them, the little, I guess they look like a little scabs, you know, they're really hot because they're more mature.
Oh, really? They get hotter as they get older, like us?
Yeah, yeah.
My husband liked that one. Hey,
Because he's old.
hey, is this an X-rated cooking show? No. Okay. We're all adults here. I can be frisky. There we go. Okay, so what am I gonna? I'll put these in with the other pepper. Oh, you know what? That's a lot of pepper. I'm not gonna use it all.
Good idea.
I just chickened out. I saw how much it was. That's like it was a big pepper. So even half of it was like, you know,
Make chili tomorrow.
lethal. I'm gonna wash my hands for a minute.
I throw whatever jalapeno I don't use in the freezer and then use it another time.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, we got the
I'll
towel
have to
here.
try that.
There we go. Okay, so now let's see, what are we gonna do now? I'm gonna put my broccoli up in a little more water. And I did get basil, but well, I'll say something about the basil in a little bit. So I'm
We're
gonna have
moving to the stove now?
yeah, when I closer to the stove, there's not just yet, Dennis, hold on 1 second. Okay, I want to check my water. It's getting there. Okay. So I'm sorry for you people who don't use microwaves. I'm nuking the broccoli. I'm looking for my onion carrier. Remember the fancy onion carrier, so he doesn't get lost in the fridge among everybody else. See, he goes back in. Just give me a moment to throw some things. Oh, I forgot to cut these guys up. Okay. It calls for scallions, right?
Uh-huh.
I almost forgot the scallions, cut into 1-inch pieces. Okay. Ha, get me out the ruler, quick. Okay.
I cut mine into 1/2-inch pieces.
Yeah. Uh-oh, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna turn off the water. Okay, that noise you hear in the background is my microwave making funny noises. 1-inch pieces, really. Okay, I'm gonna cut the onion part of it like onion and put it in with the cabbage. And then the other stuff I'm gonna just put in at the very end, the green part, so it just sort of stays to the green. So there we go. You're gonna go in with the cabbage, everybody in. Okay, some people actually use coconut oil to saute the vegetables in, and you could do that as well. So actually, we got time. I'll make the sauce now before we start sauteing stuff. That is the broccoli. It's making a lot of noise. Noisy broccoli. Okay, and I'm just gonna leave this here.
We can't hear the broccoli.
That's good. I know some people say, oh, vegetarian says those carrots scream when you take them out of the ground. So in the broccoli is screaming when I cook it. Okay, so the sauce. So I just want to say there's lots of ways of making stir fry sauces. This particular one is Drunken noodles. And as I mentioned, it has no alcohol in it. It was named, there's a lot of, if you look it up online, Drunken noodles, it has a lot of different lore about the Drunken noodles. Anyway, but it was supposedly a drunken chef. And maybe it was originally a Chinese recipe, and then somebody took Thailand and spiced it up. Yeah, they use a lot more spice in Thailand. So, but as I mentioned before, you could use there's lots of different kinds of stir fries. If you're, not sure what to do, you could always use, this is my lazy stir fry sauce, is I just take some of this stuff. This is Thai red curry sauce paste made by Thai Kitchen. And they have another one, which is less spicy, the green curry, which has more lemongrass in it. That's pretty nice. And that, or I just, grate some ginger and garlic and do stuff like that. But I could send you some other recipes, curry powder, just those kinds of things. Coconut curry is, I like, I could send you a recipe for that. It uses like light coconut milk. And I think it's really good over like forbidden black rice and with garbanzo beans. But you can always throw, if something's Thai, you could always throw on roasted cashews, or if you want to really fancy, Trader Joe's has these wonderful Thai lime cashews. I don't know if anybody's ever tried them. They're really wonderful. And it's just like a good condiment to put on afterwards. Some people like cilantro, some people hate cilantro and think it tastes like soap. That's another thing you could throw on the stir fry when you're done, and of course, adding sesame oil or sriracha sauce or anything like that. So there's lots of different things you could do. So I'm going to get a little bowl and make the sauce, although maybe I could do that. Well, I don't know. Will it be confusing if I try and stir fry the veggies while I'm making the sauce? I'm just gonna make the sauce.
Renee, how long did you cook your broccoli?
I put it in for 2 minutes and then I'll go stab it and see how it's doing.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me. Let's go. I'll do that when I'm over there by the stove anyway. So I'm not going to use 1/4 cup of soy sauce. But I am going to make lime juice. What did I do with the lime? The lime. Okay. So I have some lime, and you can, to make juices, you can. And once again, I mean, I don't think the amounts are super important. This is a juicer, a good juicer. We have an electric one too, but I'm not going to bother with an electric juicer for 3 tablespoons of lime juice or however much. Oh, and then the other thing is, so here are my measuring spoons, is I'm going to measure out the dry stuff first, which only is a tablespoon of brown sugar. So there we go, a tablespoon of brown sugar. I'm going to put it in this bowl over here so you can see. And that way I can use the same spoon for the dry and the wet ingredients, because once it's wet, you're not going to stick it inside in with your brown sugar. So this is a good workout, just a little lime juice. And then I usually use a spoon or something, just squeeze a little bit extra out. And there were no seeds in this. Voila. And it says to use 3 tablespoons. I don't know if I have that much. I will use what I have, which is about 2 tablespoons. So we're going to be short. I do have some key lime juice in the fridge where I can try and squeeze more out of this guy. There we go. Okay.
It's probably
Good enough for government work, as we say. Okay. And the other ingredients are 2 teaspoons of sriracha, which you can use more or less of, depending on your love of heat.
That's organic sriracha.
It's not organic sriracha.
Oh,
I once did have organic because I couldn't find the other one. And what else do we have in here? A little bit of soy sauce. I'm not going to use 1/4 cup. I'm going to use like 2 tablespoons, which is actually half of 1/4 cup. I could do Steve's stuff, but anyway. So it's actually, if you think of it, that was 2 tablespoons, so that's maybe a little less than 1,000 milligrams of sodium, which is well below what one person should eat during the day. Would be like 2,000 if you're on a, you know, on a limit, or 2,500. And that's going to be between not just the two of us, but this is probably going to make extra, and we'll probably have tomorrow. So when you think about it, it's not really that much sodium, but if you are like super watching your sodium, then, you know, then Steve's Choice will save you about half of the sodium. So did everybody get that who wanted to get that? Get rid of my little show and tell stuff here. Oh, one other thing for show and tell. This is rice vinegar. And sometimes, like after I stir fry, if the things aren't quite done, or if I want to steam them a little bit more, this is like you have lime juice in this one for your acid. This will work too. Just sprinkle that in and put the cover on, and it's like now you're steaming it with rice vinegar, and it gives it a nice little flavor. Okay, so what are we up to? So we got our sauce. What else goes in the sauce? That's all that goes in the
That's
sauce.
it. Uh-huh.
That's it. So let me get a little spoon out. I will probably want to add to this sauce, I'll tell you, because I don't think it's going to coat all the stuff, because I kind of overdid it on the cabbage and everything else. But anyway, so we will leave the sauce on the side. Let that sink.
You could always add a little more aminos.
Yeah. Well, I'm just, sometimes what I do, I use arrowroot powder and liquid, and you know, either leftover vegetable broth or water, and I just mix, you know, that'll add to it and thicken it at the same time. So I usually like to thicken the sauce, and we'll do that in a little bit. So now we are moving over to the stove, and I don't know how this will work. First off, let me bring my fork, and I will test the broccoli. Getting there. Halfway through, we'll be fine. Hey, broccoli, how are you? Broccoli's gonna have one more minute or so. Okay, so how's everybody doing? Are we following along?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Made the sauce.
So this is my Mario memorial walk. My dietitian, who I used to do cooking classes with, left town and like got rid of the family, moved lock, stock, and barrel, and used everything. And she said, "Come to my house, I have stuff for you." And she gave me her cast iron wok, which I love. I like use all the time. So Mario, I'm thinking of you every time I do a stir fry. So I'm going to use organic canola oil. You could also use. Oh, it's gone. My coconut oil is gone. So I'm going to turn on this flame, and hopefully the broccoli has 13 seconds left, and he'll be quiet. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is the tofu. In the recipe, they actually said to what's the word for it?
Crumble
Like
it.
really crumble it. Thank you, but I'm not going to crumble it. Anyway, there's our beautiful tofu, and I'm going to wait for this to heat up a little bit. I'll leave the broccoli there. That way it's out of the way. I was almost through with the oil, so I have a second bottle in waiting. We made tofu pancakes this morning, so I did use a considerable amount of oil today, but Sunday morning is pancake morning. Okay, so you wait till the oil's like.
Renee?
Yes, ma'am.
What temperature do you usually heat the oil at? I mean, around, is it, I know you have a flame, I have an electric, so.
I have no clue. If I had an electric stove, I'd probably burn everything. So you have to, I don't know.
I think
So there
medium
we go.
high. Medium high.
Medium high, thank
Okay.
you. So I'm putting this in with my hand because there's a lot of liquid on the bottom. I don't want the liquid, I just want the tofu. Oh, actually, I'm gonna keep this. So I'm just gonna stir fry the tofu for a little bit. And you could either stir fry it with a handy dandy wok utensil, or what I usually use that as the end. But I usually use this nice little wood thing just to move everybody around. It's gonna take a while. I'm gonna put the other flame back on for the noodles. And this might take about 5 minutes or so. So, where are my noodles? I'll just be right back with noodles. Okay, we can use these noodles. And generally what I do, actually, I could, I hate to use yet another bowl, but I'm going to, sorry guys. I'm gonna break the noodles up a bit. It seems like a lot of noodles, but at the end, I may not use them all. I'm gonna, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm like breaking the noodles in half so I don't have such long noodles. Otherwise, it's like laying in the tramp while you're eating your.
Hey, Renee, I've always had problems browning the tofu, getting it to look nice and golden. If you got any tips for that?
No, air fryer. I don't really, and the problem with doing this is it usually sticks a little bit, and then all your other stuff is going to be stuck a little bit. But I just cook it a little bit. It's already getting a tiny bit brown, but
Oil
right.
and high heat, and then you could also put a few drops of soy sauce or tamari in there as you stir it, and it'll brown it up.
Yeah, I don't want that extra sodium, but
Uh-huh.
you could handle some more oil, high heat.
more sodium.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this does call for using the sesame oil, so I don't know if that would make a difference, but I'm gonna put my noodles on the side here. Oh, it looks like,
It does take a long time for tofu to brown. Takes a long
Yeah.
time.
but you know, patience.
Right.
But it takes a longer time to drive to the restaurant and order and get served. The other day I went, wait, so I just want to say, this is all just made out of brown rice, and the instructions say just boil for 7 minutes until tender. So I'm gonna still wait on these till I get the other vegetables going. Otherwise the noodles will cook for too long. Sometimes, I mean, I used to just use the tofu, like just throw, like put it in a bowl, put some tamari on it, and then just add it at the end of the recipe too. So this is just, doing it a little, getting a little crispier. It doesn't really make it crispy, but if you use tempeh, it becomes crispy and it's a lot easier to tell when it's done. And then you put it on the side and add it at the end, and that comes out good. But drunken noodles really goes better with tofu.
I cook mine in flat slabs and then I crumble them after and have them ready.
That's
go.
another way of doing it. I just want to look at my notes for a minute because there were some other things I wanted to share. Actually, I think I kind of did it. There we go. There we go. So the other thing I just wanted to say is saving. A lot of people think that cooking, takes a really long time, and I'm spending hours over the stove and this kind of stuff. But there are a lot of shortcuts of doing things. Like, if I make these noodles and I have extras, then tomorrow I'll have extra noodles for some other thing. Or if I had noodles left over from something else, even if it wasn't rice noodles, or, you could always use them in there. Or if you had leftover rice or quinoa, that you can, then you don't have to cook the grain. Or sometimes I steam vegetables and I have leftover steamed vegetables and I want to use them in something, and I could use them in a stir fry or just as a side dish. So, I sort of usually plan for leftovers. It's not browning up, but it does look like it's getting like firm. So, yeah, you got everybody else, the garlic is
Also fun. It, like you said, it takes time to go to the restaurant, but you can have fun cooking,
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
make it the way you want,
Yeah, we were gonna put on some music. Sometimes I just dance around the kitchen, preparing food, put on music, a little reggae, a little fun, and you're just like rocking and rolling. Okay, I'm just gonna give this another minute or so because I'm not. But you could see, I don't know if you could see, some of them are getting brown, and it's not sticking much either. That's pretty good. So here we go. See this, guys? Here we go. see, I'm running out of patience because I know you're all watching me. It's like watching paint dry, watching tofu.
Hey, it's cool to hang out with you.
Okay, cool. We're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joyce. Joyce is somebody I know from, she organized the Veg for Life potlucks, and we have not met since pre-pandemic, I guess.
Couple of years, yeah.
Unless they're having the dinners and not telling me, but I wouldn't go anyway.
No way, you'd be the first one we'd
Okay, thank you. Anyway, that, if it ever starts up again, God willing, it's a wonderful event that happens every month at the Unitarian Fellowship, not sponsored by that, but they gave us a space. And just when you get tired of your own cooking, you go to this, like we used to say, it's the best restaurant in town. Because you go there and there was all this food that you wouldn't dream of cooking that was delicious, and you get all sorts of new and exciting ideas. I don't know what that is. That looks like a piece of garlic. And, okay, so the tofu is going to go hang out. So you can just keep it in there. A lot of tofu. We're going to be eating for a while. Should have invited someone over for dinner, so we don't do that. Okay, so now we're going to do the onions, because I like onions to get cooked. This is the end of this bottle of oil, but I think it's going to be enough. Okay.
onions, all right.
Anyway, so the vegan potluck was just wonderful. Wonderful. Nice people. And they usually have a speaker. In fact, that's how I found out about it. Because, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, I guess they called the VA and asked for a speak about vegetarian diets. And nobody else would do it. So I said, I didn't even know what the topic was or what the group was. But none of the other dietitians wanted to speak to a group. So I said, oh, what is it? So I went. I called up and they said, oh, it's a vegan potluck. You don't have to bring anything. Just come give us a talk. And that's what I did. And it was love at first sight, as they say. I might need my cameraman to open this bottle for me.
You just put onions in? Is that what that is?
I put the onions in and I'm sauteing them a little bit because I like to give the onions a head start. Yeah, so they're a little brown, and then I just wanted to put a little bit more oil in. It's busy trying to, oh, you got it, you got it. Okay, this one goes bye-bye. I'll trade you. There we go. Everybody should have a cameraman helping them cook. Okay.
I think
And
I
now I'm
got
gonna put the cabbage and the garlic is going in.
Have cabbage in the what?
And the garlic.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. And just get that done a little bit. And then I am gonna put my noodles are 7-minute noodles, so I'm gonna put the noodles up now. We're doing really well, guys, time-wise. Oh, let it boil. You go boil. Any questions? Are we having fun yet? Woo-hoo!
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm gonna take my,
I walk so loud I can hardly hear you. I gotta turn it up.
okay. Wait, did you say it's, hold on, I'll be right back. Just putting some things in the garbage. And so I have room here to take my broccoli out.
I have a question about sriracha because it's too hot for me. And I wonder if there's a good suggestion on how to dilute it, or if there are some other sauces that are less hot.
I would say just use, if you just use 1 or 2 drops might be enough. I think that's
Water. A little water.
I use a little red pepper flakes just to taste. I don't like sriracha either.
Yeah, I use red pepper flakes and some
I
stir fry.
would think that the red pepper flakes would be even more spicier.
You only use a little.
Like, look how pretty that is. Look at those lovely colors with the colored peppers in there. So the noodles are going in. I don't know if you want to show the noodles. I'm just putting the noodles in. Sometimes it's good to put just a few drops of oil into the noodles so that they stay separate instead of becoming one big mass.
Did you turn the broccoli in yet?
No, I didn't.
I mean the tofu. Did you add the tofu back in yet?
No, I just, at
Okay.
the very end,
Okay.
I will, because
The
otherwise.
broccoli and the tofu at the end, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Did
so
you
I got-
did you put in the peppers?
I did. Check it out.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, yeah, this is what we're supposed to do in the fancy cooking shows where they have the overhead cameras. Okay, isn't that pretty?
Gorgeous.
Let me get rid of some things here. Just pardon me. Woo, hot stuff, hot stuff. Oh, I forgot about the days.
What about the green onions?
Yeah,
Do they come in?
the onion part of them is already in. And the green part will go in at the end.
Oh, okay.
I'm turning the cabbage out so I can do the noodles separate.
Yeah, well, I have two separate things, for the noodles, and I should time the noodles 7 minutes. There we go. And I'm gonna turn them down a little bit, but it'll all be fine. Look at that. We might actually have like an hour. This is under an hour food here. Okay. And then, what am I gonna do next? Okay, so I will put in the, somebody, isn't that beautiful? A thing of beauty.
That's lovely. Very
Isn't
lovely.
that lovely? This is coming out very nicely, and the cabbage really cooked down. Let me just check this a minute. Okay, it can go up a little higher. Keep your noodles burning, boiling. So those other noodles that I had, the Nona Lim pad see ew noodles they're just like white rice noodles, but when you go to the restaurant, they have these thick rice noodles, and I always used to think that they were brown rice, but they're not.
No.
They're just turned brown from the
Right,
tamari.
from the sauce, yeah, right.
I'm now going to throw in the broccoli together with the juice that was in there. Because I'm gonna probably, we'll see how it goes. I might have to, look, this guy's too big. They want to hang out together. That's pretty nice, pretty nice. It needed some red pepper, but I didn't have any. Then it'll be really, you could also add carrots to this, to any stir fry. They, of course, would have to cook a little longer. I think we're almost good to go. See, now I gotta wait for the noodles, but I didn't put them in before, but let's let this sit here for a little bit. Everybody's kind of done. I could even put I'm gonna put the tofu in after the noodles. Tofu came out good. And come over here for a second if you want. I'm gonna chop up it says a whole cup of basil. Oh, that's what I wanted to show you. Like if you don't have fresh basil, I managed to find some today. Of course, it's not the Thai basil, but
Right.
It is basil. That's probably enough there. And I'm just gonna, I already rinsed it, pre-rinsed. And I'm just gonna chop it up with this chopper. Well, first I'll give it a few slices. Sorry, I didn't clean up earlier from everything. I don't know if it's a cup or not, but so the other thing is, that might be, I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna get a cup measure. I'll be right back because I'm just curious. Calls for a lot of, well, not quite, but it's almost. Okay, so I have to go back over here and lower my flame and stir my noodles. The noodles are not, see? It's all in the timing, as they say.
So will you put the noodles in with the sauce in the pan?
Yes, it's all gonna go together. It's basically Drunken noodles. It's a noodle dish. And these particular noodles are actually, I don't know what I did, but I think I threw it out already, but they're high in fiber, high in protein. They've got like 4 grams of protein and I don't remember how much fiber, but it's like, I like having noodles that'll add something to the meal. The other noodles I use don't, but they do add authenticity because they're like, you know, these big white noodles that look like round noodles. So I'm actually overcooking this a little bit, I think, because I'm hanging out and waiting for the noodles, but maybe I will put the sauce in.
So
I don't personally
took
think
it
it's
out of
enough.
the pan, yeah. I took it out.
Yeah.
Of the pan. Okay. I'm gonna put the sauce in. I'm gonna.
Okay, fine. And let it thicken up a little bit. I probably should have made twice as much sauce, guys. So maybe, maybe not. We'll see what it tastes like, because it does have those jalapenos in it.
Can I put can I put the tofu in now? Because it's, I cooked it for 2 minutes
You
already.
could. I'm gonna. Is your pasta in there yet?
Yes, I cooked the
Okay,
pasta
then-
for 2
then-
minutes.
Then go do it. Do it. Let me see how
Okay.
this pasta is. That pasta's done. Usually I turn off the pasta and I let it sit for a few moments so I don't scald myself. But
So
because
if it's a little dry, what do you suggest?
what's dry?
If it's a little dry, what do
Okay,
you suggest?
I'll tell you in just a moment. Hold on, let me, I'm draining my noodles.
Put a tablespoon of water in there.
Yeah, yeah, I have a solution for that. I'm trying to get all the noodles out, but it's not gonna work. So, but it's good enough for them to work again. Okay, so I'm just gonna rinse the noodles. Let them drain a little bit.
Somebody asked about pasta water.
Pasta water, I'm not saying pasta water. I want you to know, I grew up in a family where my mother would test the spaghetti to see if it was done by throwing it against the wall. The joke is that then we painted over, we had very unusual textured kitchen walls, but it wasn't true. But I did grow up in that kind of family. Explains a lot. So I'm gonna throw the noodles in. And then we'll see, and I'll answer the question about dry stuff and see how, oh, okay. So mine had a little extra liquid in it because of the, because the liquid that I steamed the broccoli in. And now I'm gonna put my tofu in. This looks very nice.
Beautiful.
Okay, and then my basil, but I could save that for the end. Let's see. So let's say I needed to get a little bit more liquid in here. What I would do is this. I'm gonna, wait, hold on 1 second. Long gone. Okay, this is arrowroot powder. I don't know if, can you see that, Dennis? Okay, didn't come in this. I buy arrowroot in bulk or in a large bag of Bob's Red Mill, and then I just keep it, because if you buy it, you know, in a thing like this, you're gonna spend a ridiculous amount. And I'm gonna put in maybe a tablespoon or two. And then I'm going to, it's a thickener like cornstarch. And then I'm gonna put in a little bit of liquid and find a spoon. I had a spoon here somewhere. Here's my spoon. And I'm gonna do that. Just mix it up, and then that will thicken what I have in there and give me a nicer sauce. Let me turn the flame a little bit.
You put your sauce in already?
Say again?
Did you put your sauce in already?
Yeah, the sauce is in, the pot, everybody's in except for the
Okay.
basil.
Sauce goes in with the pasta.
Yeah, it's not
I
super
just missed
important.
it.
See, the thing is if you had crumpled tofu, then it wouldn't make a difference. But if you want your tofu or tempeh, if you sauteed it, you know, in advance to retain its shape, then you don't want to stir it around too much. But I think that's good. Taste it and see how good it is. Well, no, wait, one more thing. The basil. Oh, I was going to say something about the basil. If you don't have fresh basil, I'll show you what my shortcut is. This is my shortcut. It's Trader Joe's makes a pesto. And so like sometimes if I wanted to make this, if I didn't have any basil, which happens pretty often, I would just put in some of that. And you could add some of that to the sauce. It'll give it a little extra flavor. So I think we're done. I might have add a little more tamari to this because it just
I did, yeah, I added a little more.
Yeah.
Because I had
Okay.
a lot of cabbage too.
So I think it's good to go. So maybe I'll ask the cameraman to have a taste. Do you want to have one little bit of taste? Oh, hot, hot. Nope. Okay, I'll taste it. I think it was more sriracha, and I mean, once you taste it, because I used a lot of vegetables, I'm gonna need more. Oh, and then the other thing is when you serve it, I'm just gonna put a little bit, maybe another tablespoon and another few drops of sriracha because it's good stuff.
It's not very spicy hot, but I didn't put the jalapeno, so.
Yeah, mine does. I do not taste the jalapenos, which is good in a way, but I think that'll do it. And then when you serve it, I would drizzle the toasted sesame.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the flavor will be retained. It'll taste a lot better. So there we have it. Voila. I can turn this off now. And do we have any other questions?
No, here's how mine looks.
I gotta go look. Well, let me go look. I can be over here and look at your, oh, lovely.
Like it?
Okay, did anybody, oh, look, Bonnie. Okay, cool. I have to, look at this.
I gotta change my view to gallery.
Okay, great. Who's this over here? Oh, is that Annie? Is that Annie? Who's wearing the blue top? I can't see.
This is
No,
me,
Annie's over
Gilda.
there.
This is
Is that
mine.
Eric?
Eric?
Is
Yeah.
that Eric? Hi, Eric. I didn't know you were here. How nice to see you. Okay. Well, you never know. Who's that holding the dish out over here? I can't see your face.
That's me, Gilda.
Gilda, we can't see your dish. We're looking at Cindy Campbell.
Oh, wait a minute. How can I? There's the camera. The camera's over the dish. You can't see it? Oh, well, it's very pretty.
I can't turn
Okay.
the dish over, it'll spill out. Let's see. Whew.
Can you see it now?
Can see a
Yes.
corner of it. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joyce has the right idea.
Chewy noodles.
Renee, do you do curbside pickup?
Ray?
You're muted,
muted.
Renee.
You're muted.
Renee, you're
Your
muted.
microphone's off, Renee.
Am I muted still?
No.
Not now.
Okay, good. There must have been a little glitch there with the camera. No big deal. Anyway, so I really would like suggestions of what any other things that you'd like to know or do or learn how to cook or anything. So you can email me, you can call me, anything. But any other questions for today about stir fries or tofu or soy products or anything?
Well, I can always come up with a question.
Okay.
You didn't compress your extra firm tofu to get the liquid out of it.
I didn't. Some people do that, and some people even have a official tofu press. I've never done that, but sometimes I have put it in a colander and waited for it to drain a little bit, but I didn't do that. It wasn't that important for this particular dish, I felt.
Does it
But,
make a
you know,
difference? So
yeah.
it might make a difference in the texture, but not in the taste.
It- Right. I mean, if I was gonna, like Joyce, make like tofu steaks or something, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a tofu presser.
Yeah, if you cook them in slices, it cooks off the liquid.
Right. Yeah. And did somebody else have a question? No, I thought there was something else. I like watching you eat, guys. This is great. Who is
Eric's
this?
microphone, Eric, turn your microphone on. There you go.
Okay, so question about tofu.
Yes.
Whenever I cook tofu, doesn't matter what I do, it either totally glues itself to the bottom of the pan and burns wonderfully, or it completely disintegrates into this sort of powdery dirt that's kind of white colored. Any suggestions on how to
Well,
it
you might be
together.
using too high a flame, or, you know, or not stirring it enough, or, I mean, one thing, do you have an air fryer?
No.
Some people use air fryers, but, you know, people have been sauteing tofu for millennia. I guess it's just an art form that you just kind of practice what the right flame size and the right, you know, how often you flip it, you know, and whatever works.
Eric,
You know,
do you
yeah.
use oil? Do you use oil in the pan?
Yes.
Oh,
And the question is, how much do I sort of soak them in oil?
No. So here's the thing about stir frying, which I failed to mention, is it's a way of frying things, but you're not deep frying them. You're just using like a tablespoon of oil, you know? So it enables you swish it around the pan, and it should enable you to use less oil. I don't know what to tell you about your tofu. So maybe try using tempeh instead.
Yeah.
Tempeh is actually preferable in a lot of ways. It's got the five, because tofu is made out of soy milk. And so you know, all the fiber is gone. So try tempeh.
Tempeh and me don't agree.
I'm sorry.
It's very intense for my stomach, and I like tofu.
Okay. Go for it.
Use a little broth with the oil, some veggie broth.
Oh, that's a good idea. And that way it'll sort of
Okay.
steam. Yeah,
Okay.
you can have sort of poached tofu.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, the key for me is if I can get it to stay the same tofu cube shape that I cut it. That's what I really want. And so often it just doesn't. So, okay, a little broth, only a little oil, keep turning it, and lowish heat, and good luck.
So are you using firm tofu or regular tofu, or what kind of tofu are you using?
Extra firm.
Extra firm, okay.
Yeah.
I just want to say I've been using silken tofu and making these tofu pancakes with them on, those are our pancakes that we have on, and they're fantastic. If you guys ever want to do a breakfast for dinner class, we could do those or something else. We could,
yes,
and
do
so,
that.
or stir or a steel cut oats, if there's anybody who isn't already a steel cut oat fan of it. Anyway,
You can also press the tofu and toss it in arrowroot. That helps.
that's right, sort of like a little bready. So the question Dennis had for Eric is, what kind of stove do you have? I don't remember. Is it electric or gas?
Fully electric.
Fully electric. Oh yeah.
It's hard maybe not to burn.
It's hard not to burn on electric. And then when you lower the flame doesn't really lower, but yeah.
But I found it, if you slice them into, you know, 1/4 inch or whatever, I just do 8 slices at a pound. But if you cut them in the slabs and brown them, then you can put them on a plate and cube them after you cook them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great
Okay.
class, Renee. Thank you so much. I have to go because I'm going to watch my alma mater win another basketball game in March Madness.
Okay, well, thank you all. I think we're good to go. Enjoy your dinner. Unless there's any other last minute questions, we're good to go. Thank you all for participating. And
Thank you, Renee.
congratulations on the new weds, and we're all good. Okay, thank you. Bye.